want to begin by saying that Hillary and I are profoundly shocked and saddened by the tragedy today in Littleton, where two students opened fire on their classmates before apparently turning their guns on themselves.
Our nation is shocked and saddened by the news of the shootings at Virginia Tech today. The exact toll has not yet been confirmed, but it appears that more than 30 people were killed and many more were wounded. Schools should be places of safety and sanctuary and learning. When that sanctuary is violated, the impact is felt in every American classroom and every American community.
We've endured too many of these tragedies in the past few years. And each time I learn the news, I react not as a president, but as anybody else would, as a parent. And that was especially true today. I know there's not a parent in America who doesn't feel the same overwhelming grief that I do. The majority of those who died today were children. Beautiful little kids between the ages of 5 and 10 years old. Among the fallen were also teachers, men and women who devoted their lives to helping our children fulfill their dreams. So our hearts are broken today for the parents and grandparents, sisters and brothers of these little children, and for the families of the adults who were lost.
I am Porter County Sheriff David Reynolds. There are over 70 schools in Porter County, many with their own protocols and guidelines. Now, with the implementation of our One County, One Protocol, or the Standard Response Protocol initiative, all schools will have identical protocols and guidelines and use the same vocabulary. Most importantly, this initiative will create a uniform response from administrators, teachers, staff, students, parents, police, fire, and EMS responders. This school safety response training video has been produced in conjunction with all school districts and police departments within Porter County in order to create a unified response to emergency situations within any of our Porter County schools.
This video is for administrators, teachers, staff, students, parents, and first responders to ensure that all involved in responding to any threat or disaster event at any one of our county schools are on the same page in terms of vocabulary and expectations. The purpose of the One County, One Protocol initiative and of this video is to do everything possible to keep our children, teachers, and school employees safe. This video will focus on empowering everyone to make the right decision based on the specific situation. Shared vocabulary and expectations make a real emergency much less chaotic and will help to ensure unity among different law enforcement agencies and first responders. This video focuses on 3 specific actions contained within the protocol: lockout, lockdown, and evacuation. Each action is followed by a directive. For example, lockout, secure the perimeter. Lockdown, locks, lights out of sight. Evacuate, go to the stated location. You will be notified of these directives via the school's PA system. Each action and directive will be repeated twice. For example, Lockout, secure the perimeter. Lockout, secure the perimeter. Let's begin with lockout. Lockout is used when a threat is outside the school. The directive you will hear is lockout, secure the perimeter. Lockout, secure the perimeter. Bring everyone in and then lock the doors.
Lockout? Yes, thank you. We are on lockout. Secure the perimeter.
We are on lockout. Secure the perimeter.
A lockout would be initiated if there was a violent person or an incident within the community near your school. When a lockout occurs, students and staff should come back into the building and ensure any exterior doors in your vicinity are secured. Increase your situational awareness and account for students. Lockouts are typically called by law enforcement officials or district personnel. The goals of a lockout are to get all students and staff inside the building and then lock all exterior doors. In most cases of a lockout, it will be business as usual once inside the school. When a lockout does occur, students should come back into the building, and once inside, it is business as usual. For teachers and staff, a lockout means get students back into the building. Ensure that the exterior doors in your vicinity are secure, increase your situational awareness, account for students, and then it is back to teaching classes as usual. During a lockout, first responders are busy as well. Dispatchers are gathering information and relaying it to first responders. Law enforcement could be making an arrest or searching for someone in the area of the school. However, in some cases, a lockdown could be issued in conjunction with the lockout, especially if the threat is near the school. Who is responsible for locking exterior doors? This is a school-by-school decision, but it is one that should be clear and discussed in advance and reviewed often. Pre-planning is vital, as well as having a redundant system in place for when teachers are absent or not in their normal area. It is recommended that each exterior door has a minimum of 3 people assigned to ensure that that door is locked. What if parents are at the door during a lockout? During a lockout, no doors are to be open for anyone except first responders. Remember, it could be because of a parent that the lockout was called. Cool. The next action we will discuss is a lockdown. A lockdown is used when there is a threat inside the school. The directive you will hear is lockdown, locks, lights, out of sight. Lockdown, locks, lights, out of sight. A lockdown is the response to an internal school threat. A lockdown entails locking interior doors, turning off lights, and hiding.
What page is
Please
that?
excuse the interruption. We are on lockdown. Lock, lights out of sight. Again, lockdown, lock, lights out of sight.
Remove personal items and backpacks off of desks so they are not seen from the doorway. During a lockdown, you must be quiet. If you can be heard, then the intruder knows where you are. During a lockdown, teachers and staff need to lock all interior doors, turn off the lights, turn off all computer monitors, silence cell phones, move students away from the line of sight of the hallway, maintain silence, and remain calm. Since the threat is already in the building during a lockdown, there is no advantage to locking exterior school doors. In fact, these doors allow quick access to law enforcement responding to the threat. An actual lockdown may not be resolved for several hours. Stay in the same location and do not move around the room. Remain silent. Teachers and staff should take written attendance of who is in the room. Know anyone missing or if you have any extra students and staff. During the initial moments of a school violence situation, the official call for a lockdown may not have occurred. And teachers, administrators, staff, and students must be ready to react to the situation in the best manner that assures your safety and survival. If there is no PA announcement, students, teachers, and staff need to assess their personal safety. If there is no PA announcement, administrators, students, teachers, and staff need to assess their personal safety. This is a situation which may call for run, hide, defend. Run to avoid detection. Hide. Do not remain in a common area where your safety is at risk. Once you've found a room to hide in, you must do everything possible to deny entry. Defend as a last resort. You and others may have to defend yourselves by attacking the assailant. Teachers and staff will want to activate School Guard, which not only alerts local law enforcement departments, but also individual law enforcement agents, those both on and off duty. Activating School Guard also notifies 911 dispatchers. Remember, you have to decide on the action that is best for your safety in the situation. In a run, hide, defend situation, the best course of action may be evacuation. Evacuation means exiting the school and leaving the campus. If you are in a hallway, common area, or near an exterior door, evacuation may be your best choice. Once you are in a safe location, you should immediately check in with your parents and school district to let them know you are safe. If you do not know where the threat is, and you are behind a locked door, stay there. If the door isn't locked, lock it and hide. Remember, locks, lights, out of sight. Is it okay for students to send text messages? Yes, but only to your parents or police. You need to silence your ringtone and do not send any messages to someone else in the building. This could be detected and draw unwanted attention. Is it okay to use the internet? No. This causes usage of bandwidth and can hinder communication and internet access for first responders. When should you open your classroom door? Once the door is closed and locked, it should remain closed and locked until law enforcement enter and provide instructions. Should classroom windows be covered? No. Covering the windows announces that there is someone inside and hiding. Covering windows also prohibits officers from assessing the situation in each room. Should you call 911? Yes, but only if you have important information, such as a description of the intruder or what the intruder is wearing. Too many calls to 911 will overload the system and could confuse first responders. How long will you have to stay hidden? The event could take hours. Your safety is the first responders' main priority. First responders have to be confident that once an evacuation begins, you will not be put in harm's way. Some circumstances may call for you to defend yourself. Each situation is different, and each person, whether a teacher, staff, or student, must make the decision for yourself. It is your choice. If the time comes where you feel there is no option but to defend yourself and those with you, you must step up and commit without hesitation. The American law enforcement response to these type of emergencies is the best in the world. The average response time from notification to the first officer on the scene is 3 minutes. A lockdown is a great response to these type of situations, but it is not a guarantee of survival. The following options are given in the event a lockdown fails or the situation unfolds before the lockdown directive has been given. The first priority is to run to avoid an encounter with the gunman. If you are in the same room when the shooter begins shooting, your options are limited. You can either run or defend. If you are in the same building but not the same room, Your first action should always be to run from the location of the gunman. If possible, get out of the building and run until you are sure you are safe. If it is not possible to evacuate the building, run and hide in a room where the door can be secured. When you have found a room in which to hide, you must take steps to deny entry to the gunman. A lock is a great start, but a lock is no guarantee to stop someone who is determined to get in. Quickly move furniture and other obstacles in front of the door to barricade the door. If you have done everything possible to slow the gunman from gaining access and have no other way to escape the building, you must now prepare to defend yourselves and fight for your lives. Should the gunman work their way past the locked door, they must deal with the obstacles you have placed in their way. This will normally be where the gunman must take one hand off of their weapon and at the point at which the gunman will be most vulnerable. Use anything and everything as potential weapons. A fire extinguisher, a bookend, a chair leg, or the swarm attack. You must remember to remain calm, remain quiet, and to be patient. Remember, this could take several hours. When law enforcement begins the evacuation, an officer will unlock your door and enter the room. Stay where you are. The officer will give you specific instructions for you to follow. You will be instructed to leave your personal belongings behind and form a line at the door. Middle and high school students will place their hands on their head where officers can see them. Elementary students will be instructed to hold hands with one another.
Sheriff's Department, show me your hands! Show me your hands! Good! Slowly, step on out with your hands up. Good job, guys, good job. Put your hands on top of your heads. In a single file line, walk to that officer, one at a time, one at a time.
Hey, turn around, sir. Real good, no problem. All right, right after this officer here. All right.
Follow the directions of the officers guiding you. Walk, do not run, and do not talk. Watch the pace of your line. Be aware of corners and stairs. Don't stop until you reach the location to which you are being directed. Administrators will report to the command post. Maintain contact with school staff. Follow the emergency and reunification plans and prepare for the media. Teachers and staff remain calm and remain quiet. Remember, ending the lockdown could take several hours. The final stage of ending a lockdown is reunification. Students will be taken from the affected site to a unification site, and parents will be notified via the school district's messaging system. Parents and students will be assigned to separate sites until identification is verified, and then the final action we will be discussing is evacuate. Evacuate is how to move students in an orderly fashion from point A to point B. With our one county, one protocol guidelines, evacuate will always be followed by a location. For example, evacuate to the gym. Evacuate to the gym. Students must leave their belongings. No purses or backpacks. Take only small items such as keys, cell phone, or wallet. For safety and security, police will not allow you to carry a bag. Students, depending on the nature of the situation, you may be asked to place your hands on your head or to hold the hand of the person in front of you. Teachers and staff will lead students to the evacuation site. If a room does not have a teacher, that room will combine with another classroom at the reunification site.